Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming up today. My old subscribers, thank you. And to those that are viewing for the first time or that have not subscribed, please click on the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. And to my new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. Please don't forget to hit on the like button. A big tragedy has just happened. A man took away what was meant to keep his wife alive and ended up sending her to her early grave. The Lagos State Police Command has arrested a man identified as Anthony, who is pictured on the left in that particular picture you can see with his wife, over the death of his pregnant wife Adaeze, who is 28 years old. And this happened in Aja area of Lagos State, Nigeria, April 10th, 2021. That is the beautiful picture of this couple with their kids. However, it was gathered that Anthony, that's the husband, and Adaeze, the wife, they are both graduates of the Maduna University, and they got married in 2014. Their marriage was, however, pledged by acts of the guy always having to hit his wife, as Anthony allegedly hit her up on several occasions, raising his hands on her. But on Saturday, this was this Saturday that just passed, April 10th, 2021, the couple had a disagreement, and Anthony allegedly pounced on Adaeze, who was 6 months pregnant with their third child. Imagine what a man would do to his pregnant wife, not even minding her condition, not even minding the fact that there is a growing baby inside of her who belongs to him. And he even hit her mercilessly, punching her baby bump until she went into coma. Who does this kind of a thing? Will a man in his right senses, a man who has human feelings and human sympathy, do this to his own wife, the mother of his children and the mother of his unborn children, unborn baby? Look at a pregnant woman. Even if you would want to do anything, when you remember that there's a growing baby in that womb who has done nothing wrong, who doesn't even know what's happening, you would relent and not take action. But that did not stop Mr. Anthony. He kept on hitting this woman on her belly for her to go into coma, which means it was very serious. What kind of a man would do this to his own wife, the mother of his kids and the mother of his unborn child? He kept on hitting her to the point that she went into coma. This is really bad and it's inhuman. Why would someone treat his own wife like this? And you know, pregnant women are very delicate. They are just like eggs that when they break, it will spill on the floor and you can't bring back this egg together again. That's how pregnant women are. And so they need to be treated with all care because they are carrying another life inside of them. And that is why you see any little thing the doctor will say, watch what you do and be very careful. And if they have any slightest thing disturbing them or the baby, the doctors will recommend bed rest because they are trying to ensure that the growing baby is healthy and the mom too is healthy and safe. And for a father, a husband to go to this extent, that was too much of him. And however, this severely battered Adaeze was rushed to the hospital by her neighbors, not even the man. The neighbors heard the scream and the neighbors knew that this man was actually pouncing on his wife several times. And they had to rush. But you know, in situations like this, when the men are doing things like this, they lock up the door. You can't even have access to the person. So not until he beat her and she was in coma, He now let the door open. The door was now open, and that's when the neighbors were able to rush into the house and take her to the hospital. And that didn't end there at all for this particular man. And the doctors immediately placed her on an oxygen as her case was very critical. Imagine a mother, a pregnant mother, and at the same time receiving terrible beatings from her husband. Imagine how critical this woman will be, and for a woman to go into coma, which means this man did not hold back his strength on his wife. The raging Anthony, that's the husband, allegedly stormed that same hospital. He didn't end up with what he did. Guys, you'll be very shocked at what this man later did to his wife. After beating her to coma, he now followed the neighbors to the hospital. When the neighbors left her, he waited so that nobody would interfere. When the neighbors had dropped, he was somewhere and waiting for them. As soon as they had left his wife, they stayed and they ensured that attention was given to her by the doctors in the hospital. And then they had to leave with the hope of coming back, that they will come back to come and see her. When they left, this man hurriedly ran in to the hospital and went to the ward where she was. He had to confirm the ward. You know, this kind of a thing, not every nurse would know what had happened. For a nurse who would know that it was the husband who put her in that condition, would not let him in. But he went in, and unfortunately he spoke with the wrong person who didn't know what had happened, and he will come in like a nice man. Oh, I'm the husband, I'm here to see my wife, and he will give the name and everything. They have a register, and the reception, most times they don't really know what transpired with patients because they are on the other side of the hospital. And a man will come in and say he's here to see his wife, and he has proved to you that he is the husband and the woman lying in is the wife. What would you do as a receptionist? You would direct him to the ward where his wife is, because you can't deprive a man of coming to see his wife in the hospital. And so, with a free mind from this other receptionist who didn't even know what had transpired with the woman, now told him the ward where the wife was. And this would shock all of you. Could you believe this man went right to her ward and took out the oxygen that was sustaining her last breath that she had? And when he took out this oxygen from her, there was difficulty for her to have any air to breathe in or breathe out anymore. She went into a cardiac arrest, and this woman died instantly. Even her unborn child died, because the unborn child lives and survives with the breath taken in and out from the mother. There's a strong connection. So once the host is dead, what would you expect of the child? The child can't survive. This is so heartbreaking. Even talking about it is very, very painful. This man had every intention of killing his wife. So he was so sad that his neighbors had taken her to the hospital, because when she went into coma at first at home, he thought that the wife was already dead. And that was why he was willing to let the neighbors carry her, unknown to him that she was still alive. So when he noticed that she was alive and she was already in admission, which means we're trying to resuscitate her back so that she would survive, she and the unborn child. This man so mean, and he went there and took off the oxygen. What kind of a heartless person is this? No matter what he would say this woman has done, these actions are not justified at all. It's so heartbreaking. It's so painful when you see something like this happen. Look at this innocent unborn child, and look at this woman. Their lives are gone. And you think the family will be happy hearing that this man deliberately killed their daughter? Because it's not like a thing of accident. It's not like a thing that he would say he didn't know what he was doing. For him to leave his house and rushed back to the hospital. To do this act, it obviously means that all this man wanted was for his wife to go. All right, look at the innocent children they have at home. Those little kids, he has now left them without their mother. And to make matters worse, the incident which happened, the doctors had to call on the cops, and immediately they got Mr. Anthony arrested. And the police commissioner even said that this case is now being transferred to the state CID for proper investigation. So if it has been transferred to the state CID, it's only serious cases like this that are being transferred. And right now, the kids will be left without a mother and without a father. He's going to spend his life in jail because you can't kill a mother and an unborn child, and with the manner at which you killed her after making her go through pains. That wasn't enough for this particular man. He now had to finally take her own life away from her. Look at this beautiful woman. Look at their children. Wasn't that enough for this man to have even stopped from carrying out this horrible, deadly act he carried on his wife? He didn't even think of his children. What would happen to his children when the wife is no more? He didn't even think of the major person, that is the unborn child. What will happen to her if he inflicts injuries on this particular woman? It is so heartbreaking when you see something like this. Why are some men like this? Why do some men take pleasure in beating up their wives? This Mr. Anthony's own is so bad because he was bent on ensuring that he takes the life of this woman away from her. What has she done that has led to him wanting her dead? Because according to neighbors, that this is what has been happening between him and his wife. Always raising his hands at her and beating her mercilessly. So the neighbors were actually used to that event happening. But this one, they had to rush in because the severity of the scream from the wife was so much that the neighbors had to ensure that they come in no matter what happens. And he locked up the whole place. He didn't even allow his kids access, because you know when you're doing this kind of a thing, the men would not want their kids there because their kids will come to jump in between and they may end up hitting the kids. So they'll rather lock the door and let it be just them and their wives. Isn't this so horrible that this man went to this extent? He inflicted so much pain on his wife, and that didn't end for him. He just wanted to ensure that she was gone. Okay, right now that she is gone and he is in jail, is he more comfortable with that and he's no longer with his kids? Sometimes you'll be asking, what kind of spirit controls some people? Some people do things like they are under some kind of demonic influence, and that is exactly what this man has done. A man who is not under any kind of control of some sort would not do this to a pregnant wife and even end up taking away the oxygen. At least he should have even left the woman in pain. She's already in pains and struggling with her life. He didn't even think of that. All he was after was to make sure that life doesn't exist in this woman's life. And you think her parents and her family would just fold their arms and be happy and watch him walk around the streets when their daughter is and their grandchild is in the grave? It's not possible at all. No parent will be happy to hear that their child died in the hands of a man whom they handed over to take care of. Because if a father and a mother hands their child over to a man, they're obviously telling the man, please take good care of our daughter. You can see that we handed her over to you in good health. So they would expect that this man should take good care of their child. But coming back to hear that the child whom you gave to this man alive and healthy is no more, who won't be heartbroken? Why do some men decide to wear a hat of something you don't even think of and then infringe this thing on their wives? Some of these men who do this at home, they don't even have the strength to face their fellow men outside. No matter what their fellow men has done to them, they just let it go and walk away. But once it has to do with their wives, they are ready to go to any length to show her that he is the head of the house. They are ready to go to any length to inflict pain and injuries on the woman so that anytime the woman think of them, they are scared. Some men live like that. They just want their wives to be scared of them. You go to some homes when the husband is away, the woman is free, she goes to every part of the house. But as soon as the man is coming back to the house, the woman goes in and locks up herself in the room. She only comes out when the man calls her he needs something. That is how some men treat their own wives. Then why did you marry her when you know you wouldn't show her love, care, and concern? I know, yes, some men would give some excuses like the woman pushed me into acting like this, the woman talks back at me, or she is doing this and she is doing that. Yes, that could be some excuse, but it's not enough reason for you to infringe or even lay your hands on any woman, not to talk of taking her own life away. You don't have the power to create as human, so you don't have the right to take away someone else's life from them. He went too far. This is to say that this person is very, very mean. He watched his wife go through pains. That wasn't all. He watched her die with his own hands. So right now, is he feeling satisfied? Is he feeling happy? There is no amount of what this woman has done that warrant this man to go to this extent. Even the beatings alone wasn't enough justification, not to talk of taking her life away from her, her unborn child, and her own children. No man is justified for raising his hands on his wife, no matter what the woman has done. No man will be congratulated for beating his wife. Some men tend to forget what they've gone through with their wives, and then they are just out to ensure that, according to them, they teach their wives lesson for what they have done. Please, if you're out there and you're going through any domestic violence in your home, report the case immediately. It was so bad that Adeze kept quiet all this while. She never opened up to complain to the cops or to make it known that look at what she's going through. She kept on going through this for a very long time in her home. Please don't keep quiet. This is how it ends up, because once you keep quiet and you allow this men to beat you up, they end up taking your life. That is what happens at the end of every domestic violence home. Please call for help. Seek for help on time. The earlier the better. And if you're a man, you're out there, you hit your wife like a punching bag, disease from it. Because you will never go scot-free. Because you will never go scot-free when you are caught up with the law. Men, disease from using your wives as punching bags. Please, women, don't keep quiet. Speak up and save your life and the life of your kids. Because some of these men don't have human sympathy at all. They are ready to go to any length. Please, if you're going through a domestic violence marriage, speak up. Don't wait. Don't wait, because the longer you wait, the more your life is at stake. You find out that women that don't speak up about the domestic violence they are going through, at the end, what you come back to see is their corpse. She has been going through a lot of this for a very long time. But Adeze didn't report. She kept it to herself and kept on enduring this battering that her husband has been inflicting on her. I'm sure if only she had spoken up, help would have come a long time ago. Probably she may not even still be in the house with him, and her life and the life of her unborn baby would have been saved. But look at what her silence led to at the end. She didn't know that her husband would go to this extent of taking her own life. That is why you can't predict a domestic violence man. He's unpredictable. When they come in contact with the wife and they are hitting her so bad, they don't look back. All they want is to ensure that they give her severe pains, and some are out to ensure that they take their wives' lives away from them. Please call for help. If you're afraid to call for help, communicate with a neighbor. There are different ways of communicating with a neighbor without letting your husband know. You can drop a note. You can say something to the person. Let the person go out and get help for you. Please, or if you're around someone who is going through domestic violence, you can secretly call on behalf of that person. You'll be saving a life by doing that. Probably if one of her neighbors had called for help on her behalf, she would have been saved. She wouldn't have died, and her unborn child as well. There is no point you die in silence. You can't say you want to endure a domestic violence home. It doesn't happen that way. You just end up taking your own life, allowing that man to take the life you have in you. It's not worth it. There is no endurance in a domestic violence home, because at the end, you don't live to even take care of your children. That is the bad part of the domestic violence. I'm so happy and glad that Mr. Anthony has been arrested, and justice will be served, because no family would watch and see this kind of a hurt that has been inflicted on them by a man whom they handed their child over to. Please, men, if you know you can't stay with a woman, it's better you end the marriage than taking the life of someone else's daughter. Remember that the parents handed their daughters over to you in good health, and then you will come back handing cups to the family of these women. It's really bad and it's sad. I said something. Men that are into domestic violence, put 3 women in the position of your wife. First, your mother. Second, your sister. And third, your daughter. If any of them are being treated the way you treat your own wife, how are you going to feel? I'm sure you would not fold your arms and watch another man beat either of these people I have mentioned, and you know how heartbreaking it can be. Then why do that to someone else's daughter? No matter what a woman has done to you, the least you should do is to raise your hand. Go and make a report. Report to her own family. Let them know what's happening. Then let them handle it from there, except a family that wouldn't listen. If your in-laws are not ready to listen to you, there are organizations that you can make a report to. If you want organizations to interfere into the marriage, then they would. It's better than beating up your wife. You go to your church leaders or your various religious leaders and lay the complaint of what is happening. Let people intervene instead of you taking the laws into your hands. Go for counseling. Meet a therapist so that whatever is the cause of the hate and the anger in the home, they can find out and help the marriage. It is better you expose what is happening in your home than beating up your wife to the point of taking her own life. A man will beat his wife to death. Look at how Mr. Anthony was so eager to ensure that his wife doesn't exist anymore. He really went too far. This was just the height of it. A woman who was almost getting her life back, he decided to take it away from her. Please mend this from hitting your wives, no matter what she has done to you. It is better you even end the marriage than beating your wife every day and even to the point of killing her with your own bare hands. Please, women, don't keep quiet anymore. Don't be carried away with this thing you say, love or you will endure. There is no endurance in domestic marriage. You will just end up taking your own life. Please, for the sake of your children, make that report if you don't want another woman to take over your children, or if you don't want your children to live without you. Please report on time when you have sensed a domestic violence man. Friends, what do you think about this? It's really sad and painful to see this poor woman and her unborn child gone. Look at the children she left behind. I pray that the kids are in safe hands, and may the soul of our Daisy and her unborn child rest in perfect peace with the Lord. And may Almighty God console her family, friends, and every other person that knew her. It's so painful. Please, if you have anything to say, you can put that down at the comments section. Please don't forget to hit on the like button. Also subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. Friends, I'm here today to talk about how to start up a new YouTube channel. So for those that are looking to start up a new YouTube channel, probably you've been trying to figure out how to go about it, or you have been trying to see what it entails or what you need to start. That's why I'm here today, to give you the easy way for you to get this done. Not just the easy, but the best method, and also to give you or to talk about the best teacher who will give you all that is required for you to start up your own YouTube channel. This is a teacher. He is really successful with his YouTube, and he has been a teacher for so long now. Teacher is Matt Pa. He's going to give you a step-by-step method on how to start up your own YouTube channel. No stone unturned. Every step of the way, he's going to lead you through it. You have links that you can actually reach out to him and communicate with him directly. That's Matt Pa there. You can see the huge successes he has made in YouTube. You can see his silver, you can see the gold, you can also see his revenue that he's actually making on YouTube, which is very huge. He is going to give you a YouTube step-by-step tube mastery class, every step of the way, from the beginning of the opening of the channel to how you can start up and put up your videos. He is leaving no stone unturned, like I said. So for those that are seeking for how to start up their own YouTube channel, this is the easiest and the fastest way for you to have access to this particular teacher who is honest and straightforward, and you will enjoy every bit of the class, and you will have lots of gain. At the end of your class, you will have lots to hold on to and to start up your own YouTube channel. It's going to be like an ABC class, starting from the scratch. So please, for those of you that are interested in starting up your own YouTube channel, Matt Pa, he is the teacher, and you will have direct access to him. I'm dropping the link below, so please, you just click on that link and you will have access to Matt Pa's class. He is going to give you the whole content of YouTube and all that it takes for you to be successful in YouTube, and how to start YouTube from the scratch. Like I said, and I'm going to repeat, he's leaving no stone unturned. And it's so interesting that if you have any kind of complaint, no matter the time you have this complaint or you are confused about anything, you can communicate directly to him and he will give you a response as soon as he gets your question, or as soon as he gets your mail or anything you're trying to confirm from him. He is quick at responding and he will give you the right answers. And even if you go elsewhere to search, you find out that what he is saying is actually true. He wouldn't mislead you. So please, for those of you that want to start your own YouTube channel from the scratch and see how you can be successful on YouTube, please go to this link, click on the link below, so you'll have access to the teacher. That's the teacher there you can see and see his success. You can go through that and then you click on the link so that you can have direct access to Matpa himself. This teacher, you will enjoy and enjoy every bit of the classes that he's going to give to you. So friends, do not forget to click the link below so you have access to Matpa's Tube Mastery class, and he will give you the best teaching for YouTube you would really need to start your own channel. Friends, thank you for coming up today. Please, for those that have not subscribed, click on the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. Thank you once again, and God bless you all.